Hello and welcome to this edition of Simple Sunday brought to you by Thought Provoking Change. Go over to www.thoughtprovokingchange.com right now to become a member. And you can be in on the other side of this call with us, as well as join in on all the remainder of our calls. Sunday is just the start to the week, but we have multiple other calls throughout the week that we would love to have you join with us on www.thoughtprovokingchange.com/opportunity. Tonight, we are going to be discussing movement or achievement. There is a huge difference in the two in every facet of life, in every facet of business, in everything. Now, tonight I'm going to be making a lot of gym references because those of you that know me know that on April the 17th, I started 75 Hard. And although that 75 days is over, in fact, we're beyond 150 days now, I am still doing the workouts. I'm not doing the 75 Hard plan per se. However, I'm still doing a lot involved with it. And today, actually, once a month, I measure in it. And please understand, this is not a thing of look at me, look at my success, progress, whatever. It just goes with the movement or achievement. So once a month, my wife measures my body to see my gains, to see my losses, to see everything. I really wish I would have started doing this when I first started on April the 17th. However, I didn't think about it. So we started today, made the third measurement that we've done. And last month was extremely challenging for me on multiple facets of it. It was my back, right, Kate?
Yeah.
I, first of all, changed around my entire workout plan. I have had something very strategic that I have been doing every single time after time. And at the beginning of this month, I decided to change to bulk up. Now, I know everybody that's on this call with us on the inside knows about my 7 foot tall cardboard cutout. And that was ultimately my goal for the end of the year. However, it no longer is. That is my goal for April the 17th of next year, 1 year into the whole journey. But for the rest of the year, I'm going to be bulking up, meaning I'm probably not going to lose much weight, if any at all. In fact, I might gain weight. But it's really to get bigger, get my arms bigger, my chest bigger, everything, get it all bigger. And God, 2 days in, Kate, maybe 3 days. I think it was the second day in, I hurt my back. And I was out of the gym for about 2.5 weeks. So it's really challenging to build when you're not going to the gym to build. I also did a terrible job on my diet. So it was really just a double whammy. However, where the advantage comes in with doing the progress checks on a monthly basis is you get to see that progress. Things that you want to grow, things that you want to increase, you must pay attention to them. You must be able to track the change, track the progress, whether it's good or whether it's bad. You must be able to track that change. Because if not, you hit a stumbling block, you hit a roadblock, you hit challenging times, and you may lose sight of everything. That 2.5 weeks out of the 4 weeks of this month in the gym, due to the injury, had me down. I knew that I had lost everything, everything that I wanted to increase had gone down, stuff that I wanted to decrease, my stomach had gone up. Yet, just a couple of hours ago, when my wife measured me, it reiterated to me the importance of tracking your progress with everything so that you know if you have just had movement or if you've had achievement. You see, in the things that she measured, now she didn't measure my arms because I worked arms today and I didn't want her to measure when I was on my pump. I wanted her to measure, when I've gone back down to normal. So she'll do that tomorrow. But here's the thing. I only lost in 2 areas. One was my left my left quad, so my leg, and the other was my waist, which I knew I had gained weight. I had said stuff to my wife multiple times over the month about how I've gained. The scale had shown that I had gained, but again, with bulking, I don't pay that much attention to the scale. Even though I do weigh in every single week, if it goes up, I'm not that concerned. But the interesting thing is everything had actually increased over the month. And if I had not been tracking that, it could have not been very good on the mind. I've been working and I'm going backward, yada, yada, yada. Yet, because of the fact that I am tracking it to see if I'm just having the movement or the achievement, it really boosted my spirits. You can go to the gym and it's almost comical to watch a lot of people in the gym. Now, you never know what they're there for. Some people are just doing a bunch of fast weights. It's small twitch muscles. I understand there are different reasons that people are in the gym. So just because they're not doing it the way that you do it doesn't mean they're wrong. However, are you able to truly see if you're making gains? Are you able to see if you're, again, these are gym references, so you may or may not relate to it, but we will put them into other references here in a moment. But if I was to go in there and not measure myself, I wouldn't know. It would just be a thing of, oh, you look like you're getting bigger, or you look like you haven't changed any. In fact, when we were sitting down here at dinner, my oldest daughter looked over at me and she said, "Dad, your arms look huge." And I'm like, "Baby, it's just the pump. I just came from the gym. They're blown up just because that's what I was working. So they'll deflate back down. That's just the way that it works." Yet, am I in the gym just to say I went to the gym? Lisa, I know you and I have had this conversation, something very similar to it. You made a comment to me a month and a half. Even after doing 75 hard, there's still times I don't want to work out. Is that normal? Absolutely. Absolutely. Until it becomes just a complete way of life for you, there are times where it's challenging. 5 months in, I still love going to the gym. I love the feeling that it gives me. I love the increase, the change in my body. It's a good thing for me. Yet, there are times where it's challenging. There are times where I don't want to go. In fact, when we were in Colorado the second night, the night of our anniversary, I went to the gym. However, I didn't work out any. Now, it wasn't a thing just to go sign in, although it looks cool. Look, I'm in Georgia here. I'm in Colorado here. I'm in Florida here. But, that's irrelevant. I went there and my shoulder was not working with me. My shoulders have been bad for many years. I just basically destroyed them pressure washing for so many years. So there are times where they give me a challenge and I go there and my workout is crap. And there are times where they don't bother me at all and it's all good. So sometimes you go and you just get the movement, but you don't really achieve much. And sometimes you achieve so much and you just know it when you leave. Same thing with life. Same thing with business. Are you just going through the motions to keep things moving? Or are you actually making achievement? A great example with this is y'all see there are posts that go up on my Facebook page every single day. And as y'all know, Michelle does a lot of those posts. Thank you, girl. You rock. And the thing is, it's how do we track that? Are my, what's it called on Facebook? Is it followers on Facebook? Yes, followers. Are my followers going up? No, not a whole lot. Not as fast as I think they should be. But then again, that's also not my area of expertise. But here's the thing. I got something from Facebook yesterday that said, congratulations, you've had 287 days of continual increased visibility. There you go. We're able to track that again. Now, when will that turn into more? It's possible that we're marketing the wrong way. It's possible that there's things that need to be tweaked. There are things that need to be tweaked. But see, here's the beauty to it. We know that only because we are able to see the achievement in it. And the achievement's great. She's doing a great job with everything she's doing behind the scenes. So props to you, Michelle. Proud of you. I appreciate you. Yet the beauty to it is part of it may just be movement. Part of it may just be we're getting people engaged. We're getting people to see. But the achievement of selling is not there. Now, here's the thing. As y'all also know, we don't sell a whole lot on there. We push this community very little bit, but the community is not even pushed on every post. In fact, most posts, it's not pushed. So the achievement will be when people come in on the back end and they say, you know what? I found out about you by your post. That's when it turns from movement into achievement. What about when you're working in a business? As y'all know, I also invest in real estate. And I was on a conference call. I was on a coaching call, Tuesday. And they were talking to me about the website that we're getting going. And it's been built out and it's being changed completely. And I'll be real with you, it's confusing. Now I'm trying to do it myself, do the changes myself, and I'm confused. I'm not a website designer. And the person that I was talking to said, you do realize that they will build that site for you. Okay, so that entire time that it was built, the initial time, the entire time that I have been working on it, there's been many, many, many hours put into putting that website together. Yet we haven't had achievement. It's just been movement. And that's where the whole concept of know your strengths and work your strengths and hire out your weaknesses comes in. Because I could run around, and I probably would have been, for the next week trying to get that website going. Yet now I know that all that I have to do is reach out to them and say, hey, this is what I want, and they'll have it together for me. And I don't even have to think about the website again until that point. Movement. I could keep doing it and say, look at how busy I am. Busy and ineffective. Busy and getting nothing done. Busy and not achieving anything. Or pass it off to somebody else and achieve in the ways that I can achieve. Pass it off to somebody else and do what I can do what my strengths are. That's the whole concept of knowing you have to track everything in your life. Your relationships, your businesses, your parenting, your gym visits, your podcasts. You know, Ricardo and I get a spreadsheet every month of how many people listen to the podcast on the radio. Now, I know that we can pull up all that data on all the podcast streaming platforms. I personally have not looked at that yet. I don't know if Ricardo has or if Michelle has. I know I have not. Yet, just looking at the radio, we were up. Our numbers were more than doubled last month, weren't they, Ricardo? Yeah, they were. They were more than doubled in just 1 month. And when I was speaking with the person that owns the radio stations, she said, we're about to put in a new marketing campaign for your podcast. So see, that we come in and we shoot the podcast. We come in and we do our strengths. We do the content. We do the recordings. We put it all together. And now Camille, she does a fantastic job editing them down. Rock on, girl. You're amazing. Yet we're all doing our part to make the achievement happen so that it's not movement. You know, Ricardo or I could go in and edit those down. But the thing is, Camille's going to be so much better and so much faster at it than what we are. She'll get more familiar with each one she does and get better and get faster. So she'll be able to achieve in much less time than what we could achieve if we were doing it ourselves. So this really goes hand in hand with know your strengths and hire out your weaknesses. Even though when I first thought about the subject for tonight and the topic, that never even really crossed my mind, never even dawned on me. But it really is the same thing. You can be there and run circles and achieve nothing. How does Elon Musk accomplish so much in a day? But all of us on this call probably don't accomplish as much in one day as what the one man does by himself, because he is very strategic about his achievement. There is a study that says that 80% of what you're doing in your job, in your business, in everything is pretty much fluff. You're pretty much wasting your time. Now, when we're wrapped up in it, it's like, no, this has to be done. This has to be done. This has to be done. It will never get completed if I don't do this. However, let me ask you, if you were to just throw your hands up and say, you know what, that's it, and then go on to the next day, did everything fall apart? More oftentimes than not, no. That is one of those types of situations, especially when you feel behind the gun, when you feel the pressures of life, of this has to be done. I don't have time to take off for this. I don't have the time to travel from Georgia to Colorado for a couple of days. You know, my wife made the comment to me. She said, on that last day, I went to the gym and she said, I've been proud of myself. I have not opened up my computer one single time since we've been here. She said, but I am going to need to do some work while you're gone. Here's the thing. That's awesome. I took a couple of calls here and a couple of calls there. I was supposed to get some amazing videos shot when we were on top of Pikes Peak and when we were in Garden of the Gods and all these types of places. I was supposed to get some amazing videos shot with some astounding and majestic backgrounds to send over to Michelle to use for the future, for Facebook posts and Instagram reels and posts. Guess what? I didn't get one of them done because we got to the point where, you know what? We have enough stress back home, taking care of everything. This weekend is about us. Now, it was about us. It was a lot of fun. And there were some challenges. It was fun challenges. Well, I don't know that that's true. It wasn't fun challenges. There were challenges. Yet, we enjoyed each other's company. And that was the point of it. Now, you know, we could have easily sat there and said, we can't leave here. We've got so much going on here. We've got everything to do at home that we can't leave here. When we got home, everything that was here before was still here. Nothing had left. Not much had changed.
Including the house. It didn't burn down.
And we came back home to 6 kids. So, I mean, the thing is, sometimes you just got to say, you know what? I don't know how, but yes, it's going to work. Because when you get so busy in the movement, so busy to say, I've got to get this done. I've got to get this job done. I've got to do this. I've got to do that. You lose the achievement. You lose what really, really matters and what really counts. If Susan was, and she's at work right now, so I don't know how much she's actually able to listen in right at this point, but if she was there answering the phones for the hospital and she just carried on conversations with everybody that called in, just, hey, how's your day? You know, just small talk conversations. That's not her job. She could go home at the end of the night and say, man, I spent the entire night. I worked an 8-hour shift and 7.5 hours I was on the phone. It just did not stop ringing. Yeah, it did. You just talked to everybody about stuff that didn't matter. You were being nice. Now, don't misunderstand me. I'm not taking a shot at her. It's just an example with her. Plus, she's probably not listening in right now, so I'm all good. But, you know, she
Wrong. I heard every single word. I heard you.
Hey, Susan. So, you know, she, in that example, she would be busy with the movement, but the person that passed away because they needed real help and she didn't get to them, you know, sorry. That's where the achievement would have come in. And of course, that's an extreme example. Obviously, that's very extreme, but it's very intentional to be so extreme. It's that extreme in life. It's just when we are looking through the bifocals of being in the middle of it, we don't see on the outside so many times. Think about all those times that you've seen somebody, a friend that's in a relationship, and you know they need to be out of that relationship. It's terrible. It's pulling them down. It's horrible. There's nothing good about it. Yet they're in it and they don't see it. They think everything's rose-colored glasses because they're so busy in the movement of keeping that relationship going that they're not able to take a step back and look at it and say, is this really fulfilling? Is this really achieving the greater goal of me pouring my life in for somebody and them pouring their life in for me? The movement versus the achievement. Don't get so busy in the movement of things. It's okay. Things will come together. Things will progress. Think about it this way. I had this conversation with my wife just not even 2 hours ago. I said, you know what? Henry Ford started when he was 40 years old. So I guess I'm not the first person to start my life at 40. And she said, Jonathan, you haven't started your life at 40. But see, here's the thing, is the movement of what's going on. Sometimes you don't see the achievement in it. I know in my cleaning service business, there were many years where I was working so hard. Kate's learned this now with her new business. You work the hardest when you make your least. Any business, that's the truth. Any of them. You make the least amount of money when you're working your hardest. I had so many years through my cleaning business where my dad made the comment to me several times. He's like, son, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, what are you talking about? He said, well, how are you making it? I'm like, what do you mean? How am I making it? Well, how are you paying your bills? I'm like, what do you mean? How am I paying my bills? He says, well, you're not really working. See, here's the thing. I had gone through the movement to figure out how that business worked, to understand the ins and the outs, to understand how to build the equipment that I needed in order to achieve maximum results in minimal time. What did that mean for me? Was simply the fact that I was going around and I was making 6 figures a year, yet I was doing it so quickly that my own father thought that I wasn't working, that he really thought that I was out of work. And that's the thing, is I have made it from the movement part to the achievement part. And then I kept building and kept building and kept building. That's the truth with any type of business. Yeah, some businesses, they go into business and they blow up overnight. And most of the time, businesses that blow up overnight also collapse just as quickly. Not always. Yet, slow in, slow out, fast in, fast out. You know, every single business person wants their business to grow faster than what it does. I don't think I've ever met a single one in my life that didn't. Now, that doesn't mean that they're not happy with the growth progress, but every one of us wants it to go faster. And the thing is, with the real estate that we're doing, there's a lot of outbound calls that will need to be made. Now, a lot of those will be movement. You're going to get 99 no's to every one yes. That's a lot of movement. But yet when you get that one yes, there's your achievement. You have worked through, you have pushed through, you have sacrificed, and you have made it happen. You have taken the no's, the no's, the no's, the no's, the no's until you get your yes. And then you'll get another yes and another one. Everything is about achievement. You must achieve. You must achieve that amazing relationship. You must achieve that incredible business. You must achieve the success at the gym. I don't go and just push light weights just to say, oh, I got in my X amount of reps. You know, before I changed over to my bulking stage, I went in and I did anywhere from 250 to 300 reps every single workout, every single body part, every single time. I'm in there to destroy my muscles. I'm not in there to look busy. I'm in there to get a result. Am I growing at the rate that I would like to? No, of course not. Again, just like business, you want to grow faster than what it is. Yet at the same time, because I'm tracking, like I was just talking about earlier, because I'm tracking it, I see the increase. I had a buddy when we first started 75 Hard that he said, hey, Jonathan, you want to have a competition to see who can get to a specific size in their arm first? I said, yeah, let's do it. Well, I am almost an inch above that already. And he hadn't even made it to that. Movement versus achievement. Plus, he's not working out, so it's going to take him a really long time to get to that point. But the thing is, what in your life can you look at now and sit there and say, you know what? Even though it seems busy, even though I know I have to get it done right now, you probably don't. Even though you must keep moving to prove yourself, you know, you must keep. My wife's not like this. I'm going to use this as an example. I must keep moving and I must keep staying busy to prove to my wife how hard I'm working so that she can be okay, or so that she can be happy, so that she can be proud of me, whatever the case is. Yet you get so caught up in that feeling of approval for the other person that you look back and you say, you know what? I busted my butt for 19 hours today. I'm extremely tired. Yet I didn't achieve much. Yet I didn't get much done. Even if you made some money, you didn't get much done. Even if you put a smile on some people's face, you didn't get much done. What is the end goal? Begin with the end in mind. What is that end goal? Where are you working toward? And are you making the movement to getting to that point that you were aspiring to be at? Or are you achieving the next level to get to where you need to be? And then the next level, and then the next level. You know, everything in life, it's all about levels. We start where we start. And I know everybody on this call and everybody that has listened in thus far for the 30 minutes that we've been on, if you're willing to put in time like that, you're wanting to go to a new level in your life. You're wanting to get somewhere you've never been before. It can be scary. It can be challenging. It can be hard, and it can be fun. But you must know what your goal is to achieve. You must know where you're headed. It's not about staying busy. It's not about looking busy. It's not about looking the part. It's about achieving the goals. It's about moving forward. It's about advancing. So what in you guys' lives, I'll let y'all talk for a little bit here. What in your lives can you look and say, you know what? This is probably something that I can let go of just a little bit. And that may be very scary because it's like, no, there's no way I can let go of this until you do. And you realize that by letting go of this, it gives you more time for this. And this is what matters. When you let go of the minimal things, the important things come into focus. We don't want to major in minor things. We want to major in major things. We want to achieve in what really helps our lives. We want to achieve in what advances us forward. We want to go on to the next level. Where are you guys moving toward? Where are y'all advancing toward? Are you advancing or are you just moving? Or are you one of the superstars that everything you're doing is an advancement and none of it's just movement? Y'all can come on and share your thoughts. Don't make me call on you.
Hey, John.
Hey, brother.
In my own life, one of the areas where I know for a fact I'm making advancements and not so much wasting time with the theatrics or the peripheral activities. And that's in my marriage. You know, not that my marriage has been bad, but it could always be better. And the things that I'm doing intentionally to really know what it means to be the type of husband that God created me to be, not the one I knew to be, not the examples that I've seen, you know, in life coming up. Not that I saw horrible examples or anything like that. I did see some good examples and I did see some bad ones, but that was them. Who am I supposed to be as a husband? You know, what does that mean for my wife as far as, you know, my role in helping her become who it is that God intends for her to be? Because a lot of what is God has placed in her is contingent on me achieving the level that I'm supposed to steward over her as my husband and provide the vision and the guidance and direction for her as my husband. I have to achieve a certain level of sustainability. Mm-hmm. You know, where I'm able to not, like you said, major and minor things, not achieve at the high end of a low pool, but to actually get the most out of everything that I've been given so that now she's in a place to prosper. So for me, that's one of the greatest areas of my life right now where I'm seeing way more achievement than I am movement. And there's other areas, but I don't want to, suck all the oxygen out of the room, but that's a big one for me.
No, that's awesome. That's awesome. The relationship is so important. You know, I've been in a marriage to where I had no support, and I am currently in a marriage with a lot of support, sometimes undeserving. Yet, when you pour into them, Ricardo, it's just like a bank. You go and you want to make that withdrawal from your spouse, and you haven't made any deposit, so there's nothing to withdraw. But yet, like you're talking about, you have the achievement, you have the fulfillment of daily making deposits into her life and achieving greater levels of satisfaction, greater levels of love with your wife. So props to you. Props to you. Anyone else? We can always go back to Ricardo. He says he has more. Lisa, you look way too happy to be muted. Girl, come on and share something with us.
I look way too happy to be muted.
So what's something that you can go ahead?
I got it.
Okay.
So I've had over the last 5 years, been doing a lot of movement in my personal journey, my personal healing, and to learning to love myself and where I'm at, and the things that I've created in my life. And now that I'm at this point in my life, I'm at the achievement part, because I worked I worked so hard for so long, and now I'm seeing it's like a harvest. Like all these things I've been doing for the 5 years are coming together, and it's like, and it's just such a beautiful place for me to be in. So I, at this point in my own personal growth, I'm at the achievement part, because I put in the work and I did a lot of it, over the years, and it took time, and I'm at the achievement part right now. And I'm
Love it.
grateful to be here.
Love it. I think there's a delay. I couldn't tell if you were still saying something.
I'm good.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. Very cool. Very cool. That's awesome. Yeah, I know we've known each other for 3 years now, and I know there's been a whole tremendous amount of growth in you in the past 3 years. So props to you. And when you're on that journey where you're progressing toward the achievement, yet you're still in the movement area, how do you keep pushing? What do you do to keep going, Lisa?
So I took this before picture when I started back in 2018, and I decided that day I was going to change my life, and I was done living the way I was living because I was miserable and unhappy. And if I ever want to stop, I just take a look at that picture and where I was, and that gives me plenty of motivation to keep on going. So grateful I took that picture. It's a lot of motivation, and also what I've achieved now. I'm not stopping, because I don't want, I have what I have, and I'm working towards it. And if I don't keep it where it's at, I don't want to lose it, because they say if you don't use it, you lose it. I'm not going backwards.
Yeah.
I know where that was. I know where that could lead to, and I'm not going backwards. And specifically, I was just telling someone today that at my daughter's wedding, we took a table picture, with the bride and groom. They ran around the room and everybody got a picture. And there's somebody at my table that was wasted beyond belief, and now we can't use the picture. So glad that wasn't me. And I was there smiling and fully sober and awake and just radiating joy, because I was at her wedding, and the picture shows it. And, that's another example of not and having a tool in my toolbox to not want to go back for. Look what's there.
Absolutely. I do remember when we first met, that was one of the very first things you showed me, was that picture of you from 5 years ago.
I'm proud of it.
And you should be. Props to you. Congratulations. I mean, you look like a completely different person. And, it's so important to have those milestones where you can look back and say, this was, and now this is. Because we're all about changing. Whatever that means for you, we are all about changing. When Lisa and I were doing 75 Hard together, one of the things that you have to do every single day is take a selfie picture, or take a picture of your body so that you can see the changes. And the thing is, we live with ourselves. We see ourselves every single day. So typically we don't see those changes in the physical form like that, because we're seeing it day after day after day. So we don't see it. Yet when we can go back and look back 60 days, 70 days, 75 days before and see the picture, it really does a lot. I mean, a perfect example, the picture from 75 Hard, the shirt that I wore that day is my short sleeve Maseo shirt with the tigers on it. It's what I wore today to church. And like I said earlier, I felt like I had gained some weight, like some fat weight. And when I was sitting down, My stomach's still not poking through that shirt. Now, I have put on weight in the past month, but like I said earlier, I'm not really that concerned about it. Yet when I can put on that shirt and there's still room for me to pull the shirt out from my body, that reminds me that there has been progress. Same thing with your picture, Lisa. You are a completely different person, physically, emotionally, mentally. I didn't know you back then, but you can look at people in pictures and get a glimpse of who they are in real life, get a glimpse of what they're going through at that moment. And that picture is absolutely amazing. You know, maybe you should speak with us one time and talk about that and bring that picture on and show it to everybody.
I'm happy to do that.
Awesome. Awesome. Anybody else?
I have one of those pictures too, Jonathan. I don't know if did I ever show you my picture, my really before picture?
You did not.
All right. So I don't know. Can you see this right here?
Absolutely.
So this
Wow,
was
huge difference.
Yeah. This was me in 2018. Before I had weight loss surgery and before I got in better shape. I've had some regain, but you know, I had initially released 100 pounds. So I probably gained back about 40, and I need to lose that again. But this is my before picture, and like Lisa, I'm proud of it because it shows how far I've come.
Yep.
Now, I also did my first 5K in January of 2019, and I had a bad back and I had to use a walker, and it took me an hour and 44 minutes to do that thing, but I crossed that finish line.
Good for you. Props to you.
So yeah.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
So yeah.
See, and that's a big thing of, like, you're running a race, you're running a 5K, and you push through and you give up. You don't make it. You don't complete the race. You could have, but you, whatever, got lazy. You, whatever, fill in the blank. You have movement. You could go, Lisa, I'm going to pick on you. Thank you for allowing me to do this. When Lisa and I did 75 hard, that was her third time doing it. I love Lisa to death. She made the comment to me. She said, I've done it twice before and I succeeded both times. Facts are, you didn't. You didn't. Did you learn? Yeah, you learned. You learned something in both of the times, but you didn't finish. You had the movement in the right way, whether you made it to 74 days and then you went kerplunk or not, or you made it 7.5 minutes in, doesn't matter. She hit achievement on April, May, June, July the 1st of this year, when she crossed that finish line, and she did it. She did it. Congratulations to her.
Yeah,
and that's a thing of movement versus achievement. Perfect example for you. Did you achieve on the first two? Of course. Did you get full achievement? Well, let me ask you, did you learn more when you completed all 75 days?
Oh, definitely. So much more. So much more.
Right. And now you can look back and say, you know what? I can take it on. I can conquer it, whatever it is, fill in the blank. But I can conquer it. I did 75 hard. I can handle this too, without a doubt. Now, baby, I noticed that when Susan started, you had just come off of mute. Were you going to say something?
I was. I love that everybody has pictures as their befores. I also just want to encourage people, because it didn't become as aware for me until after I lost AJ, how important it was to take the pictures no matter what state I was in. And it reminds me of what happened at the zoo. Mm-hmm. I wanted to get a picture in front of the zoo sign, but when we got there was a big group of people, like almost like a field trip, and they were conjured around all around there. And I just wanted to get a picture when we came back out because it also told you the elevation of how high the zoo was up. So we went and I took some selfies. We took some selfies, and then we asked the lady behind us who wanted to take her daughter's picture if she would take a couple pictures for us. And I was putting my bag back on and everything, and Jonathan had already turned and asked her if she would like us to take her picture with her daughter. And she was like, no, I'll just take it of her. And he goes, you want the picture? And before I could say anything, Jonathan had already encouraged her to take a picture with her daughter. And then she told her daughter to stand right in front of her.
Yep.
Because she had body image issues. And after we gave her back her phone, I turned to Jonathan and I said, her daughter is just going to be glad she has that picture. It doesn't matter if mom needs to lose 15 pounds in that picture. Her daughter doesn't see that, and she will have that. Because when I look back on what Jack and Van have of AJ, it's pictures that I took. I went out of my way to take them, but it also reminded me of how important it is for me to take pictures with my kids and to take pictures because I'm the one who usually takes them. My kids don't care what my hair looks like or if I need to lose 15 pounds. It's the fact that they have those pictures. Right. So even though you're taking pictures and it's always to show growth, don't allow that to hold you back. I know that this has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but it did. I just want to encourage everybody to continue to take pictures, even if you're not where you want to be, because you never know how important those pictures are going to be to people. So I just wanted to throw that out there.
And I can relate to that too, Kate, how important it is. We spent Christmas in Colorado with my brother's family in December of 2008. Before we all left, we never got a family picture. I wanted to get one, but we never got one. Well, my brother died the next April, so now we can't get it.
Right. Yep.
So that's the importance. So I just wanted to reiterate, why it's important too.
Yeah, it's always important to track that. Because it is easy to not see movement. It really is. Yep. It's easy to not see movement. And like he said, movement versus achievement are not always, they don't run tandem. They do run together, but they don't run tandem. Right. So you have to track that and knowing. And that's just something that's big to me because after losing AJ, it did matter to me that I took pictures with the boys, not just pictures of the boys doing stuff because they don't care. Van goes through both our phones all the time to find pictures, and he wants to find pictures. He doesn't want to just find pictures of him. He wants to find them with the family. So anyway, that's my 2 cents tonight.
You never know when the pictures might be all that you have, too.
And I'm forever, when we're on vacation, I'm forever taking pictures for other people, Mm-hmm. You see people that are trying to take pictures with half the family. I'm like, go over there and give me your phone. Let me take a picture of all of you.
Our first trip to Hawaii, we were there with my Emma Grace for her 10th birthday. We went to a luau. And this luau, I called beforehand. They said, no, we're sold out. Well, that didn't stop us. We went down there anyway. Now, long story short, we did get in, but that's not the point to this story. I stood there, and I swear probably 60%, maybe even 70% of that entire place, they must have thought I was the photographer. They would come up to get their lay. They would give me their phone because I asked somebody at the very front of the line, I'm like, hey, you want me to take your picture? We were standing up there talking our way in because they were sold out. And so I'm like, hey, you want me to take your picture? Hey, you want me to take your picture? Well, I didn't realize that it was going to turn into I'm taking pictures for almost everybody that was there. But the thing is, it's like you never know the picture that was taken. It could have been a family or, a husband and wife that was doing great at the time. And 6 months later, they were almost divorced. And then they look back at the picture and they're like, you know what? This is worth fighting for. And that's just a very simple example. But you never know how impactful those pictures are going to be at some point. You never know how important they will be to be able to look back and say, look, I have achieved this. Whether it's weight loss, whether it's building muscles, whether it's whatever, whether it's I was once an alcoholic and now my neighbor's an alcoholic and I'm sitting here happy at my daughter's wedding. You never know when you'll need to see that picture. Everybody struggles with different things. Maybe you struggle with depression and you can go back and you see where you help somebody and it helps pull you through. The thing is, every achievement, take note of it. Remember it because it's there for a reason. That achievement may have pushed somebody else forward, but you never know when it's going to circle back around and be your saving grace too. You help the little girl and her mom. It was heartbreaking when she pulled her daughter because the mom was very, very strategic with where she wanted her daughter standing. And she bent over so that her body could be essentially hidden behind her daughter. And it's like, it's not going to happen. Your body's too big. And I'm not saying fat. I'm saying you're a grown person. The little girl was.
She was only about 6 years old, 5 or 6 years old. There's no way she was going to hide an adult body behind her.
It's not happening. But the thing is, the achievement, you were there with your daughter. Some of the happiest moments of my life are when my kids will come up and say, hey, Dad, do you remember when we went here? Yeah, I do. Hey, do you remember this? Some happy achievements for me now are when I take my wife to Colorado because she's never been. That's one of my biggest achievements with my wife is taking her places she's never been. She got out a whole lot more than I did growing up. So it is fun to me to get her somewhere that she hasn't been. Even though going somewhere that she's been, it's her first time experiencing it with me. Good thing, bad thing, well, who knows? Depends on the day. But the thing is, the achievement of the experiences that you set for your spouse, for your kids, for your loved ones, for your friends. Going to Bright's Zoo in Tennessee with some friends. It's all about the experience. I used to think that it was crazy to travel, I will admit to it. Y'all pray for me. I used to be completely obsessed with professional wrestling. Michelle, make sure you edit that out of this video. I used to be obsessed with professional wrestling, and it boggled my mind how people would travel to another city, to another state to see a wrestling show. It's like, if it's in my own backyard, cool, let's go. But here's the thing. I could completely justify flying to Colorado if it's just, scratch Colorado because we just did that. Kate wants to go to a zoo in Singapore. All right, cool, let's go. Now, we're going to do more than just the zoo, but why fly and take all the time to go to Singapore when you can just pull up Google Maps, man? You can see the zoo on Google Maps. You can see the giraffe. You can see the rhinos. You can see all that stuff on Google Maps.
But
or you can see pictures.
There's a personal effect to it. It's not in person.
That's the thing. You achieve the experience with your loved ones.
And you got to see the happiness on Kate's face.
That's it. That's it. And she also got to see me talking smack to a giraffe face to face. So
they're trying to outsmack each other.
I don't know who has the bigger mouth. I'll let Kate decide that.
The giraffe. Without a doubt.
The funniest thing, I know this is way off topic, but we had gone around, we had fed this was our first time around the drafts. I took him back to the drafts right before we left, just so you know. And probably about 18-month-old girl had a piece of lettuce to feed the giraffe, and the giraffe took her whole hand, including all the way in, and then just took the lettuce back off.
Yep.
But her whole hand went in the giraffe's mouth, and the mom was freaking out. The dad thought it was great. The little girl was giggling because it was like she didn't know what to think. And I was like, this is amazing.
It really was. Her arm was at least elbow deep in that giraffe's mouth.
That's hilarious.
I didn't know anything about them as far as if they were gentle or whatever. So, I mean, it was right there in my face. I'm like, I hope you don't bite me, but I'm going to pet you. And they definitely didn't bite. They're very gentle creatures. But, guys, here's the thing. Don't be doing things just for movement. We can all look busy. Being busy doesn't matter. What about those people that are achieving way more and they seem like they're doing nothing? You know, I'm really excited to get back to the time to where my parents say, Jonathan, do you need to borrow some money because you're clearly not working? And on the backside of things, we're doing better than we've ever done before. Movement versus achievement. Get to the point to where everything is running by itself, essentially, where it's all automated. Now, there's always going to be things where you got to put your time into it. I'll be on these programs. I will be on the Sundays, on the Wednesdays, on all the other calls. And in a moment, don't hold that against me because I won't be here Wednesday night. Y'all have a very special speaker. I'll go ahead and announce it. There were such raving reviews from the last time that she was on with us. She's coming back. Now, I did have 2 people send out text almost immediately. Both of you are on this call right now. I'm watching you, Lisa, Ricardo, but I'm not going to call you out by name, and said, you know, you should let Kate take over for you. So Kate will be back here again Wednesday night to share with us again. And if y'all vote me out, then, hey, I understand. At least y'all have somebody way more fun than me.
But, you know, Kate's a teacher, and it's just so fun to have her in on the Wednesday night wisdom calls. She's fabulous.
She is.
Thank you, Susan.
You can just see the passion in her face and in her way she announces, and it's just fabulous.
Yep. Yep. And she's mine. She's mine. So back up.
I ain't trying to take her away. I got my own.
But in closing, y'all remember to just be. And everything in life is not about achievement. Some things you just enjoy. But here's the thing. Don't be busy just to be busy. Don't be going through the motions just to be going through the motions, because that's a waste of time. Achieve. Make things happen. Because the less time that you spend on project A, because you're achieving quick, means more time that you can spend with your family, more times that you can spend with your friends, more time that you can spend pouring into other people for them to grow, for them to become better people, for you to become a better person, for you to get to the next level. Achieve. Keep moving forward. Keep progressing. And as always, stay blessed and unstoppable. We will see you again Wednesday night at 9:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Wisdom Wednesday. This week, hosted by Kate, my love. And for those of you that are not yet members of Thought Provoking Change, go to www.thoughtprovokingchange.com/opportunity. There you can sign up, become a member, and you can join us on all the calls instead of just seeing the insides of the Sunday evening call. We look forward to welcoming you into the Thought Provoking Change family. Until Wednesday, remain